How do you conduct interviews? Do you just give them a questionnaire to fill up? What do you think? Is an interview just about asking questions and receiving answers? Here is a range of interviewing techniques you can use. Provide a conducive environment for the interview. This is primarily to make the interviewee comfortable. Explain very clearly what the purpose of the incident investigation is to the interviewee. He or she should know that it is for identifying possible root causes for prevention and not fault finding. Always use an interview questionnaire. This ensures that you stay on track and don't end up asking unnecessary questions. Stay on fact-finding. Avoid asking questions like, how did you feel during the accident? If you begin asking non-factual things, you are being subjective. Try to ask open-ended questions to encourage the interviewee to elaborate on their answers. Avoid leading questions at all costs. You don't want to pry information out of them simply because you have a vested interest in it. Another key technique: speak the interviewee's language. If you accommodate to their speaking style and body language, they get the impression that you are easier to talk to and that you are a more reliable person. Record information provided by the witness in statements or read the interviewee's log, because having it in black and white certainly makes things easier. Try your very best to build rapport and trust. There are many ways to doing this, like nodding, smiling occasionally, and showing empathy. Each witness should be met with separately and promptly. Meeting them one by one ensures privacy. Each witness should be asked to describe the incident in detail. This means that you should ask what they observed prior to and up to when the incident occurred. Also, avoid interrupting the witness or interviewee while they are providing an account of what was observed. Do ask for clarification if needed. Review your understanding of the answers given. This ensures an understanding of what the witness has just stated and prevents any misconceptions. Ask the witness to discuss his or her thoughts on what could have been done to prevent the accident. These ideas may be valuable when it's time to take action to prevent similar occurrences in the future. Avoid threatening the witness. To avoid this situation, make sure you are not being sarcastic or making any sort of accusations. The next tip is to be sensitive and supportive of the victim and all other parties involved. This encourages them to be fully present in the interview. The last technique: seek the interviewee's signature. This is to assure that they have read and understood the information and the purpose of the interview. Is there a specific method when conducting an interview? Can you think of an interview method that you have experienced before? My go-to method for interviews is the 5W1H method. In this method, you use the questions what, who, where, when, why, and how to find out what has happened and determine the causes of the incident. Start up first by asking a simple, "Can you share with me?" This is to make the interviewee comfortable. Then proceed to ask what happened, who was involved in the incident. Ensure that for this question, they list the victims, witnesses, and even the supervisors, not just those who are injured. When you start getting into more details, ask where did the incident occur and when did the incident happen. Make sure you are recording the information as you go along. Take note that the cumulative information from the what, who, where, and when questions often gives you the answers for the why and how questions as well. When reaching the end of the interview, ask Why and how did that incident happen? This helps you to get out any last bits of detail of the incident that the first 4 questions did not. As a final step of the interview, bring up the accident investigation form. After the interview is completed, the injured people and witnesses should complete the form to the best of their ability. All questions on the form should be answered based on the facts obtained. You may download the sample from resources. Do we simply record the facts? What if there are facts that require more clarification? The information from the interviews is extremely important because it serves as evidence. As such, you will need to review and verify these types of evidence. Firstly, statements by the injured and eyewitnesses. You will also have to take note of the conditions and measurements that the interviewees state. The third type are sketches of the scene. The fourth are photographs and video recordings, as mentioned earlier. The last one is a review of documents. Now that you are familiar with the different types of evidence, we can move on to knowing how to review and verify facts. For this, you need to be very discerning. Always question the information that you are receiving. Ask yourself some questions. Are they saying the same things? Is there any conflicting information? Do the facts support the incident results? Are there any reasons to doubt what the witnesses have reported? Have the witnesses given facts or opinions? Have all the facts, including those that may have been discovered at a later time, been recorded and attached to the main incident report? By asking yourself these things, you ensure that there are no loopholes or gaps in the factual information that you have received. Is reviewing the evidence good enough? Although these questions are generally helpful, they are not always enough. You might need a more concrete way of verifying evidence sometimes. The following information is useful in verifying the evidence: the manufacturer's guide for the equipment or tools used, maintenance records, and a safety data sheet. You could also use safe work procedures, including risk assessment reports. This will really aid the process of reviewing and verifying facts and evidence. Training records and a risk assessment record may also be implemented. Let's apply what we have learned.